Okay, I've got some Pontiac heads in the shop here, and I've run into this a couple times where somebody's already put 502 guides in it, and I could put bronze liners in it, but these two are wore pretty bad. So what I normally do is I have a ream, a core ream that's undersized of 500, and what I do is I touch off the heads and I center up on the guide holes, and and I center up the guide with one of my Sioux pilots. Of course, depending on your machine, you set it up with whatever pilot you have. And on the snug ones, which that one is, I set the machine and I square it all up. I try to get it as square as I can. And on the loose guides, I'll center up. And what I've got is I've got an old valve that I've knocked the head off of it. It wasn't bent, and I checked the run out on it. It's pretty good. What I'll do is I'll drop that down here and I'll center the machine up on it. If I had this is 11 or 13 30 seconds. If I had a way of grinding this, I could make it center up on this, but I don't. So I center the head up with the pilot that I'm using, which is an old valve, chuck it up in there, and I center up on each one of these. Now I take the drill and I go in and I core out most of the old guide. That's going to leave me roughly about a little bit less than 50 thousandths aside. And I've got this tool that's an air driver, but I don't particularly care to drive these guides with an air tool. It's not going to tell you if you're going to run into a problem. I tried some of these with this and I gave it a rap with the hammer and they started to move. This one moved, the rest of them are not moving. Now what he put in there, could have put some Loctite on these guides. I particularly don't care to do that. I like to put them in dry, but I don't want to beat the heck out of the heads. So what I've done is I've gone in and I've core drilled them, and you can see that there's a step down in there, and I've taken most of the pressure off of the guide, I hope. So we'll set this back up here and we'll give it a whirl and see how it works. I have more control with a hammer than I do with an air chisel, and I can feel just what I'm exactly doing, and if it's going in the bind, of course you would stop. And there it is. It's taken out. I haven't destroyed anything. I'll be able to put my new guide liners in there without too much trouble. And basically, this is what I did. If I had a post tool grinder, I could probably make up a drill bit that would center right off of these. But this is what I have. This is what I do. In the past, I've just run the core drill down them. I don't feel that lucky anymore. I just as soon take my time and do it this way. It works. I have to center up on this with my chuck, and of course with the ream, it's on a dedicated holder. So that's kind of how that's done. At least that's how I've done it, or figured out this way seems to be the best way on an older cylinder head. I don't want to take an air chisel and just blast them out of there. Things can go bad fast, and it's not like you're going to run down to the local junkyard and just grab one of these cylinder heads. So that's kind of what I've come up with. Like I said, I center up the machine with the Sioux Pilot, and then I set it all up, and then the ones that are loose, I try to move the machine around and get on it as close as I can. So it's just a little quick video. Maybe it'll help somebody. Maybe not. Like I've always said, this is how I do it. This is how I'm going to do it. If you get something out of it, great. If not, well, I don't know. Everybody's got their own way of doing things.